Dear students, very good morning. Welcome back. Today, we are actually starting the last chapter of your portion, that is, chapter number 16. Dear student, the chapter 16, which we are going to start today, understand this chapter as far as the topics are concerned in this particular chapter are not, in my opinion, new topics because you are already, if you just read the title of the chapter, that gives you an complete idea regarding this particular chapter. The title of the chapter itself gives a concept of this chapter: management of natural resource. Before we start, dear student, chapter number 16, the last in your portion. What is the title of the chapter? Management of natural resource. Dear student, today you are attending lecture number 1, and maximum this chapter we are just going to complete in 2 lectures, okay, because it does not involve any much uh, higher concept topics. It is just the common care mankind has to take if they want to survive on our very beautiful planet Earth. What do you mean by natural resource, dear student? Not a new topic. Nature has bestowed and gifted us with so many resources. You may consider land is also one of the resources: air, atmosphere, water, forest, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, biodiversity, which we see around us. All are actually the greatest gift of the nature, which the nature has given us in bounty without any limit. But, dear student, all these natural resource needs to be maintained. That also becomes our responsibility, because don't consider, actually I must tell you, when in the world industrial revolution took place, way back when Britishers enslaved the whole world and the industrial revolution started in Britain and then throughout the world, at that time the belief was different. At that time the belief is, we were at that time considering natural resource to be utilized only for our benefit, and we should no doubt understand, but we were not worrying about natural resource, and we were not believing at that time that we are also an integral part of this natural resource. If we are not able to maintain this particular natural resources, that is also going to cause a devastating danger for the existence of not only our life but also of the complete biodiversity, which is an integral part of our planet. Understand? That's why we need to maintain whatever natural resources are available to us, and that's why environmentalists, ecologists, and the all government throughout the world are worrying about our environment, because we are an integral part of that. We are not considering now ourselves different from that. We are a part of that, and if we want to survive, we cannot utilize the natural resource to such an irreparable amount that it may not be available to us in the next future to come. Okay, dear students, so this chapter is mainly about how to maintain. There are two particular words we will come across in this particular chapter in today's lecture: maintain and sustain. Both words are actually interrelated to each other. Understand, maintain means management, means whatever resources are available to us, we have to maintain them. That means we have to conserve them. We are not utilizing the word preserve. Conserve means utilize the natural resources to the best of for the best of the mankind, but also try to replenish them and maintain them. Nobody is denying that you don't utilize forest product, don't cut trees for making the timber available for the construction work. Nobody is asking you not to utilize the mineral resources available in the earth, but at the same time, as a human, as a mankind, we also have to think to maintain the resource. You cut trees, you grow trees. Understand? That's the policy. That is called the replenishment of the natural resource. Sustain is another word, dear student, little synonymical with the maintain. Sustain means whatever natural resources are available to us, let us try to utilize them in such a way that we are able to sustain not only the natural resource, but at the same time we are also able to sustain whatever cultural heritage we have inherited from our ancestor. That cultural heritage need also to be maintained. That is called sustainable management. Understand? See, dear student, in material and in textbook also there has been mention of one of the very famous Ganga purification project. This has been mentioned, which started in 1985. These are all factual matters. Understand, Ganga, one of the most pious river of our country, has been contaminated because the course of river Ganga is, I think, very lengthy, around how many kilometer it has been mentioned, starting from Gangotri almost 25 0 kilometer traverse. So along the bank, so many villages, cities, understand now what is actually happening. People are dumping their waste, understand, in river Ganga, and it got polluted to such an extent that government in 1985 started thinking very seriously regarding Ganga purification project. And I don't exactly remember the amount, but some huge crores of project has been assigned by Narendra Modi government specifically for the purification of Ganga, understand, Ganga river water. Now, dear student, how will you come to know that the river got contaminated? So that is called the presence of coliform bacteria, which actually exist in human intestine also. But the presence of that coliform bacteria in the water will give us an idea that the water in the river has been contaminated. And not only Ganga, the current government are planning to implement many other purification projects for various rivers, because river water is also necessary for us for sustaining and maintaining the lives of so many living organisms on the earth. Actually, we are in our Hindu culture. The foreign culture is different. We have given and we are appraising the river as Mata. We call it Ganga Maya because why we call it Ganga Maya. Understand, the purpose is that we are appreciating the natural resource as per our origin of the Hindu culture. Understand, our Hindu culture, environmentalists and ecologists of the world of modern day are now just started saying that we are an integral part of the environment existing around us. But we believe in our Hindu culture from the start that we are a part of this environment, and it is our sole responsibility to maintain. That's why we are appraising all natural resource. Understand? Even the fire, we call it Agni Dev. Understand? Means the resources of fire may be called petroleum, wood, dung cake, whatever, are also important, and they are given importance in our culture, even in yagna, as you know. Understand, we are utilizing wood, dung cakes for that pious celebration and ritual in Hindu culture. So we always believe ourselves an integral part of the nature, and Ganga purification project started, understand, in 1985. How many year has passed? Almost 35 years. Still the project has been working because the mindset of the people is not yet, the people in India are still not aware, understand, regarding the contamination of such a huge natural resource. Understand, many strict measures and law has been implemented by government that the people who are causing the pollution of that river are also there are some legal provisions to punish them. Understand? Now, dear student, can it be any step to make? Now, if I ask you a question, why we need to maintain our natural resource, what does it mean? When you don't maintain, we will also never be able to maintain ourselves on this beautiful planet Earth. So, we need to maintain all natural resource. And one of the best thing, dear student, to maintain the natural resource is a very important fact. which we want to discuss. To maintain, okay, to maintain natural resource, okay, what are those steps which may help us a little bit to maintain our natural resource? So you know, dear student, very important 3R, you know very well. 3R are going to help us to maintain our natural resource. Which are those 3R's? To be more specific, the one is reduce. Second, dear student, recycle. Okay. And third, reduce, recycle, and third word that is reuse. You all know, I do not, as far as I am concerned, I need to explain. Reduce means, you all know, dear student, you have to reduce the use of natural resource. Doesn't mean to say that you stop using them. No doubt nature has given us this gift to utilize, but as far as possible, you have to reduce, or you have to minimize the use of the natural resource. And for that purpose, dear student, you have to adopt the measure of either reuse or recycle. Reuse means, dear student, whatever material, may it be boxes, may it be bottles, may it be containers, whatever becomes available at your home. Understand, while you purchase any product, suppose sauce, whatever pickles, if you buy ready made, so whatever bottle, boxes, a glass container, whatever are available to us, needs to be, once the food product is consumed from that, they needs to be clean and needs to be utilized by us. Reuse is a very important word. Understand, which is also, I think, developing one economic activity. Today we are living in the age of, my dear student, information and technology, where you just have one click on YouTube and you will come to know that those used article in your home, which you sometimes throw out as a garbage, can be utilized to the best of capacity to earn money. So reuse of the natural resource is also, understand, will ensure the maintenance of natural resource. At the same time, dear student, recycle, somewhere you must have heard this word, or somewhere in lower standard, what is recycling and what are its advantages. Many products which we utilize commonplace in our home can be recycled. Either it be plastic, one of the alarming product, understand, which is going to cause an devastated damage to our environment. So plastic, understand, uh, you should have the knowledge that plastic is ultimately a petroleum product. When you prepare plastic, you are utilizing the petroleum product, which is a non renewable source of energy. And this plastics, when you utilize and just throw out as a garbage, is going to cause an irreparable and unbelievable damage to the environment, because plastic takes so many years to decompose naturally in the environment. Ultimately, it is taking such a long duration that we have uh, taken it in the category of non biodegradable waste. Glass, paper, understand, all these products can be recycled. Understand, and this recycling, once done, of the same product are actually guarantees less utilization of natural resource. You all know very well this. Understand? So that's why, dear student, these three are, which are actually coined by the ecologists of the world, are very important for maintaining natural resource. Okay. Now, few products without which we can't survive: forest, wildlife, water, coal, and petroleum, dear student. If we just in today's lecture discuss about forest and wildlife, before we discuss in detail about forest and wildlife, uh, I want to mention one very important fact, that, dear student, we have exploited forest resource to such a level that we have to consciously started thinking about how to maintain it. Actually, forest resource are greatest gift of nature to us. Okay, so this forest needs to be maintained. Actually, dear student, in your textbook there is a topic: who are stakeholder of the forest. The topic is, understand, topic now is forest and wildlife. And wildlife, if there is one particular word to highlight, dear student, who are stakeholders of forest, try to understand this particular word, dear student. Stakeholders, a very important word. Who are stakeholders of the forest? The very first thing, dear student, the people who are from the origin, means from the ancient time, people who are living in forest, you may call Adivasi or tribals, who are living in forest. Still today, dear student, if you come across Panchmahal district, you will come to know so many tribals still today, understand, are inhabiting forest. These people who are living in forest and utilizing the forest products for maintaining their life, for maintaining their livestock, cattle, whatever, for agriculture. Even they are wearing ornaments made from forest products. So, this people who are living in the forest and considering forest as their holy home are stakeholder of the forest. Understand? Okay, dear students, so who are the stakeholder of the forest? Aborigine of the forest who are living in forest since ancient time and appraising the forest products. Understand? And the forest area in which they live, actually they are considering it a holy place, and they never like the entry of any alien. Alien means not from other world. Alien means we people who are living in cities. They these people who are living in that particular area doesn't like the alienation of that particular area. Understand? They want to maintain their life there. They do not want to come out, and they will not also like to allow the entry of other highly civilized class, which we call second year student, who are stakeholder of the forest. So that is forest department, the government who owns the areas of the forest which they develop as wildlife sanctuaries and parks. So, government agencies, particularly speaking, the forest department, is one of the stakeholder of the forest. Third, stakeholder of the forest, dear student, are those people who utilize the forest products, develop technology to convert the forest product into finished product, raw material to finished product, and sell it in the market. Those industrialists, industry means, take an example just to mention, understand, you all know very well one of the well-known Ayurvedic brand, Dabur Chyawanprash. They are utilizing the forest products to produce even Dabur honey. Even one of the famous beauty icon, Himalaya. So Himalaya cream means they are actually they are just declaring in the market that all their products are forest products. So they plus, as you know, sports goods, dear student, understand, are also prepared from the softwood available from the forest. Understand? So these industrialists who are also depending on forest products, understand, for running their factories, are stakeholder of the forest. And the fourth one, those enthusiasts who, in one word, if I want to say, uh, wildlife lover, forest lover, who want the originality of the forest to maintain in the same stage rather than polluting and contaminating them. Actually, they are working. Understand, if you just search the YouTube, you will find so many environmentalists and so many enthusiasts who are actually involving and dedicating their whole life to just maintain the forest and the biodiversity which we see around us. Understand? I don't still particularly remember, but I heard one couple, both were scientists. They traveled one island in Australia, somewhere I am not exactly sure, and they see there that the water cat on that island were available in one time in huge amount, but there was a drastic decrease in the number. They both were uh, for a wildlife lover, and they immediately decided to pass their whole life on that island to try to maintain that particular extinct species water cat. Understand? And they and government actually donated that island to them for this particular purpose, dear student. So they can be considered enthusiasts. Even one name I don't remember the person who is already who have engaged himself. He has already developed an NGO in Himachal region to, and the target is to just green the Himalayan mountain ranges. Understand? And he has grown so many record breaking trees in the Himalayan mountain ranges. Even Guinness Book of World Record book take a serious notice of that. So dear student, these are called stakeholder of the forest. So who four are stakeholder of the forest? First, aborigine, Adivasi tribal living there. Second, forest department. Third, industrialist. And four, those enthusiast wildlife lovers. Okay. So many organizations also, dear student, in the world are working for maintaining the wildlife and natural resource. One of in local in Bhavnagar Wildlife Conservation Society, and many institute to mention. One is Nature's Call, one is Tiger Stop. All are working specifically for the maintenance of all these natural resource. Understand? And dear student, the very important thing I must mention, we need to maintain all these natural resource. Understand? And one of the famous community, Adivasi community of Rajasthan, Bisnois, who are actually an staunch and acute forest lover, and they are not allowing any alienation of, no doubt today the forest department is there already, but they actually love tree like gods. You all know about the world famous Chipko Andolan by Amrita Devi, and today though already government are giving award for environmental conservation on the name of Amrita Devi. That Chipko Andolan, even in Garhwal district also, dear student, the people who are working there are actually the forest lover, because they are aborigine of that area. Understand? And they want to maintain them, and we have to also appreciate their feelings. But those people actually today, uh, for the benefit of industrialist and government department, dear student, what is happening, industrialists are not forest lover. They just want to take the raw material for running their factory from any areas of the forest. May they have to clean any area and grow some more for more products for them. Understand? They need a vast land area and forest to grow the raw material they require for their factories. They do not have the love for forest. And even sometime uh, some officers in forest department also looks corrupt, and they are encouraging this process of alienation of the forest, and they are cleaning the forest area, cutting the trees indiscriminately to just, understand, promote the industrialists who are producing sports goods as well as the furniture decorative items. Dear student, not only industrialists but the government department also has to be very serious. You must have heard actually what happens whenever industrialists and government department understand are trying to alienate any for any area of the forest. They have to dislocate the people, aborigine living in that area, understand, to some different location, and that is actually creating social dislocation between the two mass of the people. You must have heard a very famous Narmada Andolan by Baba Amte. If you remember, understand what is that actually? For just uh, uplifting the height of the Narmada Dam, and when Narmada Dam was to be constructed, understand, way back, understand, so that area of the forest needs to be alienated and cleaned. So aborigine or tribals living in that area has to be dislocated. Understand? So that actually created one type of social dislocation, no doubt. Government has tried their best to dislocate these people and giving them new habitats to live. Understand? And some better habitats to live, but actually their soul, understand, is actually interconnected to that particular area where they pass their whole lives. So government sometime, and we have to be very serious regarding this aborigine living in that area. One of I when I was reading sometime in internet also, and even some of the example mentioned in your textbook, where in some district the government department themselves, understand, has taken initiative to involve these local people living in the forest for the betterment of that area, which was actually came to the total, we can say, a total waste. One of the, I think, sal forest in some department in the textbook, when you read, it has been mentioned some Arabari Forest Range, Midnapur district. Understand, when 1,272 hectares of land, Sal forest, understand, which was actually totally on the brink of living, just living its identity at that time. A.K. Banerjee, one of the uh, forest lover in government, also we get some good and honest officers, and he has taken an initiative and tried to sustain that forest by taking the help and guidance of the local people living in that area. And by this serious effort from government, forest department, and the people who are living in that locality, that area of the forest came to its originality within a short time. So government has to be very serious about this sustainable management. We have to coordinate ourselves with the people living in that particular locality, taking their help, because they are actually forest lover. They pass their whole life utilizing the forest product without disturbing and contaminating the forest resource which are available to them. So dear student, sustainable management is also a duty of all stakeholders for the maintenance of forest and wildlife, be it government department, be it industrialists, be it enthusiasts, forest dwellers and forest lover, or the inhabitant of the forest. All stakeholder of the forest needs to engage in combined effort with complete coordination for maintaining the forest, wildlife, and the biodiversity which we have got. Understand? No doubt the forest department today has been very strict regarding this, but it also become our sole duty for sustaining this forest and wildlife resource available to us. Okay, dear students. So, in today's lecture number 1, I explain you regarding forest wildlife management and 3R to sustain and save our environment. In the next lecture, we will take some more topic to complete this chapter.